everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday evening. I just thought I would do a few things and let's just kind of talk about what the world is that we want to live in moving forward. We've already have seen the worst. Now let's see the best of us.
So one of the things that is really interesting is how will this affect the cities that we live in? And when you drive around the city, or when the car drives you around the city, you'll see there's a lot of parking lots. There's parking lots everywhere, parking garages. So what would happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. And so we're taking the in lot out of parking lot. So one of the things that is really interesting is how will this affect the cities that we live in? And when you drive around the city, or when the car drives you around the city, you'll see there's a lot of parking lots. There's parking lots everywhere, parking garages. So what would happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. And so we're taking the in lot out of parking lot. So what?
Oh, okay. Very short video, but a little bit coming from Tesla, telling you the type of world that that we live in, and take the parking out of the lot, right? Okay, let's see what else we have here. All right. I'm just going to bring you guys some other random videos here of current events that have been happening. Stay tuned. Okay, this particular video has got some controversies out there. You guys tell me what you think. There's been so much disaster. But I'll tell you at the end what they're actually saying, whether it is current or older. If you recall, please put it in the comments. And please do comment on my recordings, because people are giving some really good information out there. Read the comments, whether it's on Rumble or YouTube. And let's just take a listen.
This is life in the big city.
The dog. The dog. The dog. Hi, puppy.
The dog. Oh, Patsy. Oh, Patsy. Bless your little bitty heart. Help me. Oh, Patsy. Oh. Come on, get him. Oh. Well, I thought God just answered one prayer to let me be okay. He answered both of them. Because this was my second prayer. Poor little thing.
Oh. Okay, so moving right along from that there. So I just want to kind of do a little bit of just tell you I got a show tomorrow night with Buck and Joey G17 and myself. We're going to be breaking bread. I hope you guys can join us, which just basically means we're going to have a conversation with you guys. And we're going to start to talk about the weather warfare. And then we'll just see where the show takes us to. Okay, let's get back to this here. Let me pause this for a second, start it over. And this is a little bit about the world where we came from. It's not about the world that we want.
Anybody can go back to the 1900s and look at all the mental asylums. And this is interesting. These buildings are absolutely massive, and they have like thousands of rooms. So then you start to wonder, why would someone build a mental asylum at large? Imagine the resources it would take. And especially because around the 1900s, you see people building little houses that are like wooden shacks. They're all like little wooden shacks all over because they were trying to build something. Then you have these huge mental asylums where they were locking up people who went against the narrative. That's what those were used for. Anybody who said they were hearing voices because the rollout of the radio were going against any of these that they were trying to put into everybody's arm at that time, or trying to go against paying taxes, they threw them in the mental asylum and they locked them up. And they got rid of a lot of the population at that time, or a portion of that population, who went against the grain. So people should look into the 1900 mental asylums and that whole thing and start to see that the buildings and the size and the structure, and then they demolished all of them. Actually, there was one in Chicago that I went to one time. I remember I had to deliver a pizza back in the day, and it was a mental asylum. And they demoed it in Chicago, and I wonder why. Got to get rid of the history.
Yes, indeed. And that's exactly what they do. And if you guys, I'm going to give you more information. If you have not seen a channel out there on YouTube, he's all over the place. It's called My Lunch Break. A gentleman who actually would make videos during his lunch break. He hated his job. I don't know. I think he used to have to tag merchandise all day long, probably was in distribution, whatever. So he would get in his car, only had 30 minutes for his lunch break, and then he would put together some awesome information. He's got over 1 million views. He just went from 0 to 1 million. I think he also works with Eric Dubai. I keep saying it because I kind of see the information is intertwined between them. But any case, yeah. So there is a big mental institution out in Elgin, Illinois, and I know it well. Heard so many stories about that. That was, I think, one of the last ones that were gone. But yeah, so my thought is, please put in the comments below for other people if you're more educated and you've been following why they built all these asylums. If going against the narrative is, I do believe that there were littles that were taken and the parents couldn't deal, and they've tried to fight back against the narrative, and that's where they ended up. Just a thought. And then all of a sudden, I did another show, if you go back maybe about a month ago, on the orphans, the orphan trains. There's all kinds of information. We're all going to connect these dots one day, and it's all going to go down in history, in the history books, so that it'll never, ever happen again. Okay, one more time. This is just a sneak peek that we'll be talking about Operation Popeye. Popeye the Sailor Man, toot toot. All right, it's weather warfare in Vietnam. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. military conducted over 2,500 weather modification missions lasting from 1967 to 1972 in an attempt to extend the Vietnamese, rainy season in flood areas along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. To disrupt the new enemy supply route, the Operation Sea Cloud with silver and lead iodine via airplane, resulting in an extension of rain up to 45 days in targeted areas. And if any of you out there are just hearing about this for the first time, welcome. And it's so good to see you wake up. And if you are saying, I need to be wearing a tinfoil hat, I would recommend before you, basically think twice about this. There's so much information out there about this that if you miss it, I don't know what it is that you are watching. All right, so let's see where we're going next. Okay, so my next segment is a little bit about your health. So we're going to be talking a little bit in that area there in conspiracies against vitamin D and how important it is and why we need to get out into the sun. And, when you go to the doctors and you have some tests done, they'll basically say to you, well, you're low in vitamin D. Are you taking like D, whatever? And how much are you taking it? And you really need to boost it up because it causes osteoporosis and stuff like that. They just kind of tap dance around it. But let's just listen to this conversation here with Robert Barefoot. And let me cue it up for you guys.
The Canadian Cancer Society recently published that 15,000 IU of vitamin D, that's 50 cents, can terminate 65% of all women's breast cancer. Now, how significant is that? Well, the drug industry looks and said, you can't terminate breast cancer for 50 cents. Sure. We're in it for $1 million per patient. And so the FDA, the FTC, and the AMA all get together and try to suppress this information. And that's why I call it a conspiracy. I mean, this is such big business, they can't afford to let you know that 50 cents worth of vitamin D could cure you.
You don't hear about vitamin D and calcium as being the answer. And they're raising all this money and nothing's happening.
Because it's a 50-cent cure. And unfortunately, in the history of the drug industry, can you name one drug that ever cured a degenerative disease?
Penicillin?
That never cured a degenerative disease. It just kills virus.
I
The
mean-
point is, there's never been a drug, and there never will be. And yet, here these scientists are coming saying, but we don't need drugs because God's nutrients work. The Canadian Cancer Society.
Okay, so there you have it. Basically, are saying that there's another word out there that I will say is ivermectin. Look that up if and I know that a lot of you already know about this, but there's protocols that are going to be coming out really soon on this, and I can't wait. I just can't wait for all this to come out because, my goodness, the amount of money that people have been spending on big pharma, if you will, and they never gotten anywhere with it. The next segment is basically a little bit of sporting out there. Somebody is this is cute. It's there's basically it's after the hurricane. Let's take a look. Let me start those over. Whoop, I gotta mute that. You guys got an idea what this song is? Yeah, I can't change. Watch the end here. Watch like the last second of this here. Pew, 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 pew. Pull them over. Pull them over. I'm sure it's just a warning for them to get off the streets, right? All right. Okay, and on the financial end of things here, I just want to bring this chart as Trump is now giving. This is inflation by administration. Let's take a look. And this was posted by Trump out there. So you can see the big difference. Trump's, first of all, the items are on the white, and then Trump is in the greenish, yellowish, depending on the color of your screen. And then the last one is this current residence, Harris and Biden. Look at the percentages of energy. We went from negative 0.7% to 34.3%. Just alone in just energy. Gas is that went, and then the Trump was 6.8. I'm only going to read a few of these because this is what you guys have been paying. You know it. You've been feeling the pain in your pocket, in your wallet, so on and so forth. But the biggest one out of all of this that I could see, just eyeballing it right now, is two categories, which really concerns me, which is the eggs, which was about 4.8%. And then it jumped all the way up to almost 69.2%. And then the other one, where did coffee go? Coffee was another one. It jumped up to 19% under the current residents there. Pet food, of course, you know that they're going to affect that also. There was prescription drugs, right? Everybody needs a piece of this pie. Yeah, who are you going to vote for? And also, too, I'm still waiting on more information coming out about Disney. Disney that is at war. Here, Hurricane Milton, time to expose Disney. So there are people, and I'm just going to read a couple of these comments because they're right on screen for you. My sister lives just outside of Orlando. We all know somebody that lives near there, and has been without power for the last 24 hours. I've been telling her for months I don't want her to move to Cape Canaveral, Florida, for work because Disney is a human trafficking MK Ultra hub of the CIA. I've also been telling her that the blackouts are necessary for the quantum switch for months. Now, this is just somebody who's believing in this quantum financial system. The word is out on X. Is QFS. Is a bunch of bull. So whatever you guys want to believe, you could believe, but only one thing that I could tell you that I believe, and I've always said this for so long, and people say, oh, you don't want to have to call it the QFS. You could call it something else. We're coming into a new financial system, which will probably be backed by gold, and that's it. Also, BRICS is also basically, BRICS is all these other countries out there. They're going back to their own money. You don't have to be using the fiat system of the dollar, which has really only been used in the United States, but it was pushed upon all the other countries, and they're now going back to that. So with more information coming up on the financial system around that. Now, one other thing I want to say about Disney here is I am not finding any information about the tunnels underground being washed out or anything like that. So it's I'm waiting to see what comes out before I put anything out here with you guys. So that's just a short update, but there will be more coming to you. Okay, so let me just ask you guys this. So right here is CNN. This is can't think of his name, but it'll come to me shortly. He gets hit by it's the CNN guy out there, and I don't think it's kind of hard to say if it's actually him or not. But let's just take a quick look, and then I'll give you my update.
And the water now is really starting to pour over. If you look at the graph, whoa. Okay, that wasn't good. We'll probably go.
All right, so here's my insight on this. Here is what they're basically saying. Somebody threw that at him to make it look like, you know, he was out in this out in the storm. Anderson Cooper meets debris is what they're really talking about here. I don't know about this story. You know what? I'm bringing you guys stories that I see out there, and I'm going to give you my opinion, and you put in the comments whether or not, because it just seems like it's just bullshit. It really is. The way the wind is blowing, let's just watch one more time. I'm going to blow this up here for you guys. Use your own discernment on this and put in the comments what you actually think. Watch which way the wind is blowing.
And the water now is really starting to pour over. If you look at the graph, whoa. Okay, that wasn't good. We'll probably go inside shortly.
Yeah. That was his cue, you know, what have you. But it's too fake. It's too fake. All right, you guys, that's so CNN, and that's so Anderson Cooper. And then what else do I have for you here? We do have to take a look at Wyoming is burning right now. There's other parts of this world that are on fire, and it's very devastating to see this. Wyoming is confronting a critical situation right now as wildfires, and this is coming from about 3 days ago. We were all wrapped around the hurricane and hurricanes for good reason, and there's 629,000 acres on private property that are endangering both the environment and livestock. This is really, really sad here. But I just also want to, I've seen a lot of flooding, and I've seen some houses that were taken down in the Tampa area. It looked like it was very localized. The storm was localized. I don't think it was as bad as what they're saying here. So, yeah, let me just come back to you guys here, because I want to try to find one more story, and then let's see. Oh, I forgot to show this. So this is President Trump in Wheels Down in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The next stop is Reading, Pennsylvania, and I thought this was really cool, and I don't know why I skipped over this. I gotta check out the music. So 27 days, which we're probably into what, 25 now, I would say. But let me cue this up for you. I guess it was queued up. Producers, screen 2, screen 1. There we go. I'm going to turn the music off just to give you guys 3 or 4 seconds and continue to hear this music as he's coming down there. It's in black and white. It's in black and white. So I think he's doing something as I'm speaking right now. He's in another location. And for the life of me, I can't remember where he's at. That man moves around more than anyone else that I know. So we're getting close. We are definitely getting close. And this is awesome. Get out there and vote. Okay, I'm back with you guys, and just wanted to talk a little bit about my channel here. And it is actually called TTP News out on X. If you guys would go out there, I'm going to try to get monetized by them. Believe it or not, I'm going to try them. I've tried everywhere else. And this is, if you would, and just go out there and take a look at it. I'm on 2 different channel names, and that's all that it is. Same story out here. Breaking Bread, and I'm going to read this to you guys if you didn't get it. It has come out that the Democrats in Washington and the Democrats governor office of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, were blocking people and money from coming into North Carolina to help people in desperate need. Biden knew about it, and so did Heels Up Harris. It's all over the place, a horrible situation. I will make it up to everyone when we take office on January 20th. Hold on, I'm coming. And this was today at about 2:30 p.m. And just wanted to share that with you. That's one of his, I'm not sure if it's his latest post. Also, I do want to talk a little bit about what was in the skies last night. And this is it right here. So this is outside the suburbs of Chicago. I was on my Facebook page. I was very surprised to see this. I probably would have been able to see it here if I would have stayed up. So I don't know. So these are just some things. If you guys want to go to my TTP News, post if you have pictures out there. If you took them, please do share them with me under my channel name out there. And you can help me out. I'm going to try to get monetized out there. And yeah, so what else do we have out here before I say goodbye? And of course, one more time, please tune in to tomorrow night with Buck and Joey G. And we'll be talking about the warfare. Lots of fires, obviously. And this is not the world that we want, but we can see and visualize the world where we're going to be. And it's going to be a very beautiful thing. Okay, so this is the geomagnetic storm, a geomagnetic storm. And I think this is probably what was happening last night to give everyone that aurora of skies that you usually only see in, I think it's Alaska, if I'm not mistaken. All right. That's everything they have here. Trump 2024, don't forget to get out and vote. Please do your part. We're not going to be bystanders and watch the world go around. We are going to be a part of the world moving forward. Thank you. And now I turn the page.